You're listening to Rockers in Recovery Radio. If you'd like to find out more information, go to rockersinrecovery.com or Rockers in Recovery on Facebook. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Hey, Rockers in Recovery, John Hollis. Just wanted to say hello to everybody today and have everybody get ready for the Christmas spirit that's happening. And we have a great show in store for you. We have Don Taylor, who's with us. And, of course, Don is a great guy, and we look forward to hearing more about his story here in a minute. Of course, we are Rockers in Recovery. We are a media organization, and we are dedicated to carrying the message of addiction recovery education. And we do it through music, news, events, and festivals taking place within and not limited to the clean and sober community. And we have several different platforms you can check out at rockersinrecovery.com. And, of course, we welcome everybody again to the show. It's a great day when we can stay sober and clean and help carry the message of hope. It's a beautiful experience, that's for sure. And we have Don Taylor with us again. And, Don, how are you, buddy? Glad you could call in and be a part of the show. Good to talk to you, brother.
Yeah, good to talk to you, too.
So let me ask you a couple of different questions here. First of all, I understand that you have worked in the recovery field before. Are you still doing that, or is that something? What are you doing now?
No, well, I used to be with the Tennessee Department of Corrections. I was a counselor, and I was a program manager. And we had an A&D program in the prison where I worked, in both prisons where I worked, and so I was a manager of that program inside the institution. That was back in the 90s and in the 2000s.
Wow. So you've already been around, and then you have your bandmate George and some other bandmates that are in recovery too. So you're a huge supporter of the recovery movement from everything that I see. Absolutely,
100%. Yes, for sure.
One of the things that is very unique about you, and I was reading your information this morning. You actually got together in 6th grade with Artimus Pyle, who was actually Tommy Pyle at that point, before he became Artimus Pyle, the drummer for Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Yes, that's right. We were neighbors back in '59. We moved into the neighborhood at the same time, our families.
Oh, wow.
Columbus,
Can you
Ohio,
give us a little bit of history on that?
Well, my father was transferred to Columbus to work, and we moved from South Carolina to Columbus, and then about a month after that, I was up there kind of by myself. It was a new neighborhood. Most of the houses weren't even built yet. They were still in process of being built. Then about a month later, Tommy Powell moved next door, or behind me. Our backyards were adjacent, and his father was a builder, and they were building houses up there. They were from Jamestown, Tennessee, and also where George is from. And so that's how we met back in the summer of '59. And then after we started school that fall, and then we were both in the 6th grade, we joined the band together. He played the drums, and I played the saxophone. That's how we got started.
Wow. And then fast forward years later, you ended up, from what I'm gathering from the bio, you ended up meeting with him.
Excuse me.
While he was part of the. Yeah, I said what I understand is you started meeting with him, or you met with him with the Lynyrd Skynyrd band years later on. Years later.
Yeah, we played in bands all through high school, and all that, and then garage bands. Mm-hmm. And then after college, we both went to college at the same time. I went to college at Miami University, and he went to Tennessee Tech. And then he lasted about a year later. He joined the Marine Corps, and I finished school. So when I got out of school, he was getting out of the Marines, and so we started playing again together. And then a few years later, he got on with the Lynyrd Skynyrd band, and that's up in Chicago. He was touring, and I was living in Chicago. I was an FBI agent there at the time, and he and I connected, and we started talking about playing again together. When if and when they ever added a horn section. This was in 1976 and 77. And then, unfortunately, their crash was in October of '77, so that kind of ended any concept of playing with the band. And then we played together in the Artimus Pyle band. He formed another band after the crash, and I played with them off and on for 10 years. And I was involved pretty much with that. And then when the band was put together again in '87. For the tribute tour, he set me up with an audition. They wanted to add a horn section, and so they were going to use two horns and have Ed King play synthesizer, fake saxes. And so we put together this horn section in '87, and then we toured the United States with that band, and that's how we got reconnected. That's how I ended up playing in the band. Wow,
very, very cool. And then fast forward, I guess you got together with the Chillbillies, which wasn't it wasn't the Chillbillies at that time. It was another band, correct?
That's correct. There was in 1986, before the Skynyrd tour in '87, Artimus and I were playing in Nashville with the band Artimus Pyle Band. It wasn't quite called that, but that's what it was. And we booked a job at the Fentress County Fairgrounds in July of 1986, and George's band was a band called South Fork, and they were the leadoff band for this show, and both Artimus and I were very impressed with the group. It's just a bunch of young guys, college age at the most, and George was their lead singer, piano player, and the front man that I always was missing in any band I ever played in, except Skynyrd. And then so we joined his band. Pyle and I joined his band. Yeah, because it was in Pyle's hometown, and so we had kind of a home base set up there, and we had some house gigs and we were making a little bit of money, and that's how I got with George in the summer of '86. And so I've been playing with George ever since. He asked me to join the Chillbillies around 1999.
Yeah, that's a totally different vibe too. You have you got Larry Patton from the Flying Burrito Brothers. Yeah, that's a really cool band. I've gone and seen the band several different times. They're amazing.
Yeah, thank you very much. I really enjoy this band. It's actually the best band I've ever been in. I've been playing in it since 1999, so obviously it's got longevity, and we are successful. We have a lot of engagements we play, repeat stuff, a lot of weddings and big fairs and things like that, events, and we have some great musicians playing in the band, and so it's been a wonderful thing. And of course, we played with the recovery shows in Florida many times.
Yeah,
looking forward to that again here in February.
Yeah, we're actually looking forward to having the band come down. It's going to be yourself, George, and we're also going to have, I think, if I'm not mistaken, who else is coming with you?
Well, we should have Larry Patton. He's our superstar. Actually, he's played with everybody: Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, Delbert McClinton, Ricky Skaggs. I could name it on and go on.
Okay.
He's our star. Then we're going to have Davis Mitchell, I'm pretty sure, is going to be coming down.
Yeah, Davis is coming. Absolutely. Davis is great. He's amazing. What an amazing songwriter, too.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I enjoy him personally. He's just a cool cat. And he's a great player, and it's always nice when he plays with us. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, you're an amazing player yourself. I got to tell you. I was so impressed every time that I've seen you, and you're just, you're a cool cat yourself, brother.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't know what to say. I mean, we throw in a little. I go back I'm so old now. I go back to so many genres. I mean, I started playing with songs like Teardrops and Stand By Me and those old early '60s tunes. That's where I come from, and so we try to throw that R&B in there with the Southern rock and the blues. We have a nice situation. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's definitely beautiful. And in the meantime, we are, of course, having you guys come down for the festival. It will be February the 11th, 2017. It will be at C.B. Smith Park here in Pembroke Pines, Florida, which is it's a suburb of Fort Lauderdale. And, of course, the band will be a part of that. The night before, we're having a meet and greet for the community. It's an open community meet and greet. Both events are free. You can find out more information by going to rockersandrecovery.com. You can also find out more information on Don by going to it's chillbillies.net, and you can check them out there. They're excellent website. It has his bio. It has everybody else's bio there, and it's chillbillies.net. You can check them out there. Don, in closing, we're doing this, and it's free for everybody. It's a community event, and we do it so that way we can educate the community. And in closing, what I'd like to do is have you just give us a little bit of your feeling on addiction and educating the community, and what your feelings are about some of the things that are happening. I mean, there's a lot of deaths going on right now with the heroin epidemic nationwide. And what's your feelings on it, and what would you say to somebody that might be suffering?
Well, the main thing, my main experience in this situation is inside the prison system and in criminal justice. And everybody that I dealt with, I basically retired from the Tennessee Department of Correction as a supervisor and counselor and teacher. Everybody in there, it seemed like, I would say 90% plus, had some issues with drugs and alcohol or both. And that was the main ingredient for their madness, or whatever you want to call it, that drove them into hurting other people and stealing and robbing and dying, And so that's what I've seen. And so if you're having trouble with the law, get yourself straightened out with the law. Stay off of these accelerants that lead you to, or lead the person into aberrant behavior that follows with law enforcement involvement, and basically ruins your life. Because once you get that conviction, that felony conviction, you're pretty much where you're not done. You can work with it, but it really handicaps you, the person, and inhibits their future development. So you're arrested into that era of that craziness. And I don't know what else more I can say about it. I've just seen too many people die and get killed and get stabbed and in prisons, and it's just terrible. And especially this epidemic of these heroin deaths. I mean, that's just crazy, because back in the '60s, heroin was something people did in in Harlem, New York, and stuff like that. It was and now it's just like anywhere. It's all over the place. Correct.
Yeah. And something that has no boundaries. It definitely has no boundaries. And
no, it has no boundaries. It's just killing people at a pace that is it's more than probably drunk driving and Afghanistan. I'm sure it is.
Yeah. It's actually, we're at about 180 deaths a day now, nationwide, which is more than you get in car accidents. It's amazing. And the CDC came out the other day and said it was 80 deaths. 80 deaths a day that were happening, and I mean, everybody in the community, the recovery community, got in an uproar, because that's not the case at all. We all know that it's well over. It's well over, and it's reaching upwards of 200 a day, and they're just trying to cover their own asses, in my opinion. So, but again, something in the end, what this is about, and us all coming together, is to educate the community, and to have some people there in between the bands. There are people that are going to be speaking. They're 10-minute speakers, and they will give you information that might be able to help you, or help a loved one, or help a person that may be there just to find out information to be able to help a loved one. So, it is education, it is prevention, and what we're here to be able to do is carry a message of hope, and we do it through music. And it's guys, it's guys like you, guys like you and George, and all the rest of the bands that show up, man. Everybody shows up, and this has been going on this is our 6th annual and not counting the ones that we've done across the country, man. It's about, listen, what can we do to help people? We want it to be free for all and inclusive for all. And we have all kinds of different music. I mean, hey, listen, we got everything from, our style of music to some metal, to some rap, everything's there, man. It's a great way to be able to all come together and unite and to fight addiction.
Well, I can't wait to be there, and I'll bring some friends with me this time. Okay.
That's great, man. We appreciate it. Listen, I want to thank you for being on the show, and we will definitely chat at you before the event again, I'm sure. I want to get the whole band on. We can have you guys all call in at the same time, and we can have a real chat at that point.
Sounds great, John. Take care.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys, there you go. Don Taylor. I want to thank Don for being involved and being a part of the Rockers in Recovery Music Fest, along with the rest of the Chillbillies that are coming down. Davis Mitchell and, of course, George. And we look forward to having those guys down, along with the other bands that are going to be performing. You can go to rockersandrecovery.com, and you can click on the first blog that's there, and it says the 2017 Free Music Festival. It has all of the information there, and you can also click on the event tab and find out more information too. So again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of Rockers in Recovery. We want to, of course, end on a great note. Have a blessed day.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.